Hey guys, fishing and stuff. This past week we went to the beach. And it was beautiful. And while we were there, we got to do some pier fishing. We got to do some surf fishing. And we even got to do some inlet fishing. Caught some bait, getting bigger. And while I was there, I got to thinking, I ain't never did no beach hacks before. You supposed to be reminding me of this stuff.
Hey, it ain't my fault you got a bad memory.
You about to get fired.
You don't even pay me.
Beach hack number 1. If you're gonna fish in the beach, especially in the surf, then you're gonna need sinkers designed for surf fishing. I made a video a couple of years ago where I used a step bit and I made pyramid weights. I used a step bit to make my mold for my pyramid weights. You pour the lead in it and it pops you out a round pyramid weight. Now a round lead sinker is not ideal for surf fishing, but if you did any study on pyramid weight, the part that catches the sand is this flat part on the end right here. Then on a hack video, I took the same idea, the step bit pyramid weight, and I turned it into a claw sinker. By drilling a hole in the bottom of that mold, we could feed wire through it, then pour it. Then after you're done, you fold your stainless steel wire around and you make yourself a claw sinker, which is pretty awesome. But you could do the same thing with some egg sinkers. I'm just saying. All you need to do is get you some kind of stainless steel wire. I prefer using weld wire because it's straight and it's stiff. And if I use wire out of a can or off a roll, I have to straighten it out before I use it. This is just a little bit simpler. All you do is take your piece of wire, cut you 2 pieces off, and bend them in half. Once you get them bent in half, you have to shove them both through an egg sinker. If you need to, you could drill it out a little bit, but mine fit through. Once you get both of those pieces stuck in there, you just take your pair of pliers and bend the bottom around. Then when you're done, you got yourself a claw sinker made from an egg sinker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
Did you hear the one about the jellyfish? It's a no-brainer.
Beach fishing hack number 2. If you're going to surf fish or inlet fish, you're probably going to need some rod holders. Well, a while back I built an all aluminum rod holder and it turned out pretty dang awesome and really tough. And the cool thing about it was you don't even have to be able to weld aluminum. I brazed it. They make all different kinds of brazing wire that melts at different temperatures. And all you need is a propane torch to use it. You gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Just always remember, heat your aluminum, not your rod. And come to think about it, that stuff was really tough because I got one piece I never did break, even though I tried multiple times. Now, in one of my hack videos, I had a rod holder that was made from PVC and aluminum. And I really liked the way that one turned out. I just took a piece of PVC and a piece of aluminum angle. You drill holes in it and you run your boats through. They actually sell them just like this in the store, but they're like $16 to $20. But you can make your own pretty dang simple. Then, of course, you've got your regular old PVC rod holder. You can take a piece of PVC, cut it at an angle, and then with the top you can heat it up and use something like a wine bottle to push it down on and flare it open. You know what I'm saying? And these are the traditional surf fishing rod holders that everybody uses. And they work pretty dang good. As high as PVC's getting, it's just easier to buy them already made. Plus, they're only like $5.99. I'm just saying, that's not that bad.
What a sharks order at McDonald's? A quarter flounder with cheese.
Beach fishing hack number 3. Another great thing to have is a sand flea rake. And the aluminum sand flea rakes get rather expensive. They really do. But I want to show you a simple way to make a sand flea rake that don't cost that much. So what we're going to use to make our own DIY sand flea rake is a rake. Go figure. But this ain't just any ordinary rake. This rake comes from Rose's and it was like $5. I'm just saying. So get you a cheap rake. Don't use a good one. And we're going to need some hardware cloth, which is Basically the wire that you use on rabbit cages or chicken coops, things like that. To get our first measurement, we lay our rake on it and see right there where it begins. We're gonna measure over 6 tiles. We wanna keep 6 tiles. Then we'll go to the other side, do the same thing, and that'll give us our width. You see these little jaggedy edges right here? Make sure you take your pliers and cut those things off because we don't want that. Now we got our width. We know our width's right. The way we get our height is we count up 6 boxes, then we're gonna cut along that line. We count over 6 boxes and we'll cut up. And basically what we're gonna do is cut the corner off here, cut the corner off here, go up 6 and cut another corner the same way. Then we'll trim off the top. Now you can see what I'm talking about. Our width is determined by this line right here over to this line right here. And the way we get that line was with the width of our rake. Then we count up 6 boxes, 6 boxes, 6 boxes, 6 boxes, 6 boxes. That's where we get all our other measurements from. And once you get both sides cut out, now we need to bend it. So I'm gonna use the edge of this weld table so I can bend my wire straight. And if you've ever did any brake work, then you can probably tell that we fixing to make a box. Now, I was going to use stainless steel wire and wrap up the sides to hold together, but I think I'm just going to do all of this with tie straps. Okay, we got our box made. It's actually still a little bit warped, but when we strap this thing down to the rake, it should straighten it up. So now we just need to tie strap it to the rake. And now you got yourself an awesome sand flea rake. I'm just saying. Oh, and I use thicker tie straps down here where it's going to be digging into the sand than I did up here. I used the tiny ones up here. I've seen a lot of YouTubers make sand flea rakes this way, so it's not my idea by no means, and I don't know whose idea it is because there's several videos on the subject.
How does a shark greet another fish? Pleased to eat you.
Hack number 4. One thing you should really think about getting if you're going to be fishing at the beach, whether it be the pier, the inlet, or the surf, is a beach cart. Because carrying all that stuff to wherever you're going, it ain't easy. And on last week's video, I showed a cart called a Sea Striker that's a pretty good cart. The only downside to that Sea Striker was the tires are kind of small. But for me, the tires were fine for the pier and for the inlet. Now, when you get in that soft sand, that's a different story. Also on last week's video, I built a PVC cart. But while we was up there on the pier, I couldn't believe the amount of carts I seen. I seen carts in every shape and size. We even seen a cart some guy drove in on the pier. That's crazy. But if you're gonna fish at the beach a lot, I'd consider getting a cart. Plus, if you're fishing in a spot where your rod holders don't want to go in the ground easy, sometimes if the ground you're fishing in is too hard to use your rod holders, you can just use your cart as a rod holder. You can just use the rod holders on the fishing cart. I done it and it worked fine. Now, this right here is very cool. This is basically a liner that goes inside your beach cart, and it's called a fishing mate. It's like fishing and stuff, but it's fishing mate. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find this liner until after I went to the beach, but these things aren't very high, and you can get them for different size carts too. And if you had this, your stuff won't be falling out the bottom of your cart. It kind of holds everything in place. It's got one little hole in the bottom, and I guess that's for draining water. But I really like this thing. I'll be using it next time I go to the beach.
Hey, what's the most famous fish? The starfish.
Beach fishing hack number 5. If you're gonna fish at the ocean, then you need the right type of rig. And they make tons of different kinds of rigs for saltwater fishing. I had certain types of rigs that I used in inlets to catch smaller fish. Then if you wanted to take those smaller fish and shark fish, then you're gonna need to buy a shark rig, which has a steel leader. And you can buy these things because sharks have teeth. And honestly, not just sharks have teeth, gar have teeth, muskie have teeth. A lot of fish have teeth, and if they do, you need a steel leader. And like I said, you can buy these or you can just make your own. Now, I bought these crimpers off of Amazon, and the ones I bought come with all these little collars. You can also buy stainless steel leader line off Amazon. This is 200-pound test. This is nylon coated and it's 30-pound test. See what I'm saying? Got a nylon coating. You can even buy some really thick monofilament and do the same thing, because these ocean rigs that you buy, like I was using when I was surf fishing, well, these are made out of mono. But when you start looking at them, they've used these little crimps on them instead of tying them. I bought all of these stainless steel leaders at Walmart. So you can get these things anywhere. But in the long run, it's going to be cheaper to make them yourself. Plus, you can make them any way you want when you make them yourself. All you got to do is get you off some of your stainless steel leader line. Put one of the collars on. If you want it really strong, like for a shark rig, put 2 of the collars on it. Then thread your hook on, run your stainless steel leader line back down through those collars. You take your crimp tool and crimp around it. I always start with the biggest hole and work my way down until it won't close anymore. That's about as simple as it gets. And when you're finished, this stuff will not come back apart. It's pretty dang awesome. So instead of buying all this crap, just buy you one of these kits right here and make your own rigs any way you want them to be. Just one thing, if you're going shark fish, check and make sure that you're able to shark fish where you're fishing, because most beaches in North Carolina do allow shark fishing, except for Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach don't allow shark fishing because they don't want people to know there's sharks in the ocean. Well, there you have it, 5 fishing hacks that'll help you the next time you go to the beach. Unless you live at the beach, then you probably know more about it than I do. If you like this video, then you're probably gonna love my fishing hack videos. And I've got a bunch of them. And you should probably go check out this one. I'm serious, go check it out, because this video is over.